Hi everyone, welcome back to Sealed for Good. Thanks for joining me again. Today I'm talking about the nasties in waterproofing products. And you might be wondering what I mean by nasties. Well, a few years ago I wrote a blog, Get a Whiff of This, on my LinkedIn page, which spoke about the hazardous chemicals and fumes in waterproofing membranes. Now, we're 2021, yet we are still using these products which are hazardous not only to the end client, but more importantly to the waterproofing applicator. And many of you don't understand what you're putting yourself at risk to every day. Now, this is not just about you using the products, but in the atmosphere and the environment of where you work, these chemicals are hazardous. And there's been many studies globally about the emission of fumes and hazardous chemicals that hang around in the atmosphere long after the job is complete. Even when waterproof membranes are cured, tiles have been applied, carpets are in a home, and the tenants are in there, they have still been able to trace chemicals that have come from things like hazardous adhesives and membranes and coatings. Now, I'm not here to bag any brand, but we need to understand that we've come a long way. We talk about all the safety elements in construction now, PPE gear we need to wear, yet how many people actually look at an SDS sheet and understand what those chemicals can do to you, even by handling them, but more importantly by breathing them in. And I've seen many contractors on site that are that climatized, I'll use that term, to some of these chemicals. I'll walk in a site sometimes and I can smell it from just getting out of my car. There's guys in confined areas where these chemicals are present, and I've felt my tongue actually numb sometimes, yet these guys are just so immune to it now. But it's just like the asbestos issues we had decades ago, smoking, all these hazards, they play a part in your health, not now, but maybe 5, 10, 15 years later, and impacting the quality of life. Now, our industry doesn't need to have a legacy of that stigma attached to it. So we should start to be looking at where membranes can be used and where the safety is, because we've gone a long way past having to expose contractors and other site trades to some of these hazardous chemicals that are on site. Isocyanates often get named as one of the hazardous chemicals and fumes that are on site, but there's more than that. And you need to understand the chemicals in these safety data sheets. By law, every product has a safety data sheet, but do you actually know what those chemicals can do? Now, you as the contractor and applicator have a choice of what you use. You can go down the green-friendly path or the eco-friendly path and do the right thing for the environment, but more importantly, our position with Gripset has always been the health of the contractor. Now, there's lots of movement out there at the moment. There's talk about cement dust and silicosis and where that's all going, and I think we're going to find that industry changing. But a lot of the big cementitious companies are actually starting to make changes to the way their products can impact the fumes on site, which is a great positive to see. But you still have the choice of products you use. Do you use a product that could emit dust? Do you use a product that could emit a flammable or a toxic chemical? What about the fumes from heating? Are there any of those there? If you have to use these products, what can you do to minimise your risk? Is it masks? Is it eyewear? You know, sometimes I see these guys on sites and they're just burning things up, breathing those fumes, and not only them, if they don't care for it, but there's other people on site around them that can be impacted by this. We have now got to a point in construction, and I've seen this globally with the movement, where technology's taken its right path. We've got prefab and modular buildings that have taken a step in the right direction, and it's actually becoming a disruptor in construction with the speed and the way we build and the way we waterproof. We can't have these hazardous chemicals on site and just turn a blind eye to it. I see some of these big commercial sites with union officials on there, and they're ensuring that there's safety, you've got the right hat, you've got the right boots, you've got the right gloves, yet no one really gives a damn about the chemicals that could be coming out on site from what is being applied. And this is where we as an industry need to make this movement. Don't tell me that in 2021 we can't have alternatives to these hazardous chemicals. You might think that I'm giving it a bash for Gripset because we go down the solvent-free path. Well, we do. And we've always done that, and that's been our stance for many reasons. But most importantly, I wouldn't use a product or get any of my staff to use a product or make a product that could be a hazard to them, and we don't want any of our customers exposed to that. And you need to take note of that. Now, we're not the only company with that. Many companies have good alternatives out there, liquids and sheets, but be aware of what you're exposed to. Do the right thing for you, your client, and the industry. What you'll find when you go down the safety path, you're also going down the green-friendly path, and that's a step in the right direction. Guys, if you want to DM me on this, throw us a message. If you want to have a read of that blog, the link's here. And don't forget, subscribe. Make 2021 a great one. I'll see you soon.